But then, so what about the UX? How much time do y'all spend on UX design? I thought for you, like you'd probably have some insights because I know in the past y'all have done these crazy eye tracking studies and everything.
Yeah.
So UX design, how important is that in your world?
So in a nutshell, I mean, it needs to be good enough, but beyond that point, it matters less and less.
Hmm.
So
Good
the
answer.
way I see it is, I mean, obviously, if there are usability issues that that needs to be solved, but in terms of design, how good something looks, I mean, these days, I think the average standard for it's pretty. Most stuff that you ship are looking pretty good. You have pretty good, templates. Anybody can look decently good enough, and so going from 0 to 80% and from 80% to 90% takes the same amount of effort. So then you start questioning the ROI. And like,
Mm.
if I take my design to 80%, like like it takes so much more resources to go to 90% and beyond. Is that worth it? And it likely is not. And if you look at the top grossing online destinations,
Amazon, eBay,
Amazon,
all this.
it's like,
There's no design. It's
yeah,
just
it's
layout.
just it's good enough or even worse.
Yeah.
And so,
Craigslist.
obviously, if your brand is all about design, you need to look the part.
Mm.
Like Apple maybe,
Mm.
but also, Apple is erring on the other side where. So at my conference CXL Live, I had the conversion optimization people from Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked, "What kind of experiments do you run on the Apple website?" It's like, "Well, we're not allowed to experiment with much." It's like the design leaders decided this is what it's going to be, and there's no experimentation. Like you
Yeah.
can't really play with it.
I mean, so that brings me up to kind of like analytics and stuff. Because I know you deal a lot with data analytics, all that stuff. Do you sometimes feel yourself chasing analytics and it goes down the wrong path? Let me give you an example. Eric from Beard Brand was in here
Hmm.
and he was talking, they have a millions of subscribers on their YouTube channels. And he was like, if we chase the analytics, and I really liked that word, what would happen is our YouTube channel would just be of people getting haircuts because that's what brings in the numbers.
Oh yeah.
But ultimately, those people generally don't buy a lot of stuff. So we have to do other
Hmm.
videos that get less but generate revenue.
Totally.
How do
I
you think
mean, you
about that?
need to bring the experience filter to know what's important. And with qualitative research, that's especially true. So every time I ask like my audience like questions about what do they want or not want and so on, I discard most of the feedback based on, yeah, you think you want that, but no, um, or you're not ready to pay for it, or you think, I think, so you need a strong filter, and I think you can gain that filter only through experience, to know what really matters as a and also I think you develop a stronger gut feel as your experience grows. So there's the Hippo, most important person's opinion.
Mhm.
um I think Hippo has its place, because Hippo,
What is Hippo again?
highest paid person's opinion.
Oh,
So
never heard that.
in optimization world, it's also always like, oh, like the data says this, but like Hippo is just, like, which is referred to the CEO or whoever the decision maker, that they shoot the idea down and they want their own
That's
pet
hilarious.
idea. And so I think I used to really like make fun of Hippos, idiots, like the data is the king. But now, having more experience under my own belt, I'm like regularly like filtering the data. It's like, yeah, 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 but and I have an understanding of the customer, the competitive landscape, and I have also a product vision, where we want to go, and how we fit in, and the differentiation and all that stuff. So I think there's merit to having a synthesis of data and your gut feeling, basically.
Interesting. I have a quick Hippo story. I love that term. I've never heard it. That's awesome. Hippo. When in college, I got my first contract with a big company to do SEO for them,
Mm.
and I also ended up running their Google AdWords also. And I did a thing where overnight I saved them roughly $250,000 or $300,000 a year. They were doing AdWords for the term business, just business.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they were doing events and such, and there was a 0% conversion and 100% bounce rate on a keyword. And I was like, I'm going to turn that off, and you just saved $250,000 because you got no leads from that at all. And the guy came, he was like, "What did you do? Where'd all our traffic go?" I'm like, "You're welcome
Yeah,
that you're saving all this money." He's like, "My boss is gonna have my ass," and that's when I realized, because I never worked for a big company before, that the guy who employed me has to go into a weekly meeting and show a chart that's going up and to the right
totally.
to his boss. So traffic. So I remember, so I got in this argument with him about like, well, I'm saving you so much money. This is good. And he just wanted that traffic back. And I realized he just needs to show traffic is going up. So I bought them some dumb keyword for like 2 cents a click, like
Totally.
some random, and they were just happy with like that stat. And I was like, that was a real educational experience on how a big company
Yeah.
works.
So that's an example where there's a stupid hippo. Like I truly believe in dictatorships. But if you have a benevolent dictator,
Mm-hmm.
not a tyrant,
Mm-hmm.
because you get so much done efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same vein, like data versus opinion, if the guy with opinions is not experienced, is just as stupid conspiracy theories or whatever, then data should prevail. So it's hard to find that balance, I guess. I mean,
Very.
I used to be all about data, but I stopped being a hands-on optimizer like three years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm more in the CEO role these days, and I haven't done any consulting 4 years or something.
Oh, I still do it every Tuesday just to keep sharp. I like it.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
If I don't have to talk to any consulting client ever again, I won't miss it.
But I dictate the way that everything goes down. It's only on video. They're not allowed to email me before or after.
And
It's
they're
it's
not allowed to speak back.
yeah,
You
exactly. I
just
get
roast them
I
for
get
an
to hit
hour.
them. Yeah. No, normally they're actually really cool. I feel like I learn a lot
Totally.
from them.
I
I
mean,
guess at the level you're at, it's kind of to the
I
point where you can't do it
I
anymore.
mean,
But
consulting is a career. If you as a young person want the biggest increase growth in your skills,
yeah,
going to in consulting, working for an agency where you see the kitchen side of so many businesses, also learn to deal with managing relationships. It's killer learning. It's just it's so important. I just did it for more than 10 years, and I'm just done with it.
huh?